Okay, guys, thank you for showing up. I recognize a lot of the names here tonight, and it's nice to see you all. And I've been looking forward to this show a lot. This is something that I find to be very interesting. I guess I've always been, even when I was a kid, I was so into like spaceships and stuff. I mean, I used to take uh, televisions and radios apart that were broken and take the tubes out of them, and these were my spaceships, and I would have spaceship battles. I mean, I just always have loved everything futuristic, just been my nature. And I read comic books, of course, and things like that when I was growing up. I was really into that too. So talking about the future has always been very interesting to me. And I, when I read something about the future, sometimes it just rings a bell with me. I can just tell that this is real. It's a feeling I get. It comes from having a Mercury in Aquarius, and I'm sure a lot of you might have that too. Mercury in Aquarius, or Mercury in the 11th house, or Mercury conjunct Uranus or trine Uranus, something like this. This is what draws to people. Uranus and Aquarius is what draws people to astrology. And people that are into astrology are generally interested in things like science fiction and the future and all those things. They're just very interested in these things. So it's part of my nature, and I love it. I've always loved computers. I've always loved astrology. And they come from the same place in astrology, which is so interesting. They just come from the same place. So talking about the future is real exciting for me. So please, nobody interrupt me. If you want to share something, raise your hand and then I will call on you. But I want to wait till after I give my little talk here, the second half of the show, then we'll open it up for sharing or questions and answers. And I'll put my software up on the screen and look at your cards if you want me to. Let me get rid of all this music stuff. Next time I might have the music working, but I have to practice for that a little bit before I do that. Oh, Jai is here too. Interesting. Yeah, a lot of familiar faces and names here tonight. So welcome everybody. So I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but in the life and the spiritual spread of the cards, there are these two spots in the spread. Actually, I should have it up, shouldn't I? Maybe I can show that in my software. Hold on a second. Might as well share. What the heck? Share this. Okay. So in this life and spiritual spread, there are two places that are the most special. And in the life spread, it's in the same spot in both spreads. And one is the center, the Jupiter position where the 10 of diamonds sits. And the other is the top center, which is where the 8 of diamonds sit. In the spiritual spread, you have the Queen of clubs there, and you have the Queen of spades there. Okay, so this is what you, let's see, hold on, I gotta admit everybody here. Admit. Sorry. I'm just getting the hang of this, and I'm gonna do this better. I promise to do it better next time. Okay. Okay. So these two spots are so important, but you have to understand the difference between the spiritual spread and the life spread to really get it, okay? The life spread really could be called, we really could call this the ego spread, because this is where the ego lives. This is where most of us live our life, in this world where everything is black or white, good or bad. I don't like it, I do like it, I want it, I don't want it. This is where the ego lives. In the spiritual spread, there is no ego. There is no ego in the spiritual spread. There is just harmony and love. That's why all the cards are in the perfect order and so forth, okay? But in the life spread, it's the ups and downs that we all go through in life. And in the life spread, in this spread of the ego, the two most treasured and cherished spots are the 10 of diamonds and the 8 of diamonds. 8 of diamonds representing fame and wealth, and the 10 of diamonds representing wealth and being the center of attention of everybody, you see. So this is the world that we're living in right now. We are living in a 99% ego-driven world. And the ego is actually very predictable. It's very predictable. And once you understand how the ego works, it's really kind of easy to predict how things are going to evolve. And we've seen them evolve in the last 20 years. It's been amazing evolution of the egotistic way of living, which is from this place where everybody wants to be better than somebody else. That's the whole ego way. The ego thrives on comparing itself to other people and being better than them, even if it means being better than them by being sicker than them or being worse off than somebody else. If you can brag about it, the ego's happy. The ego within us is very happy. As long as we're comparing ourselves with somebody else. Please mute your mic, please, whoever's scratching there. I'll mute you. Thank you. Okay. So you have to understand that if you can understand that, if you can see it in yourself, if you can see it in yourself really well, how your own ego operates, then you can see how the world is operating. And when you see how the world is operating, you can see the trajectory of where we are headed here. You can see where things are moving. And it's a foregone conclusion of all these things. I mean, nobody's really talking about it. People, we want to sort of live in this fantasy reality world where we think everything is just all going to turn out okay. We just want to live in a world where we think that everything is going to be good, everything is going to be like some kind of spiritual thing is going to happen, and everybody is going to become better than they are. They're going to start, everybody's going to become enlightened all of a sudden. You know, this is the world that we live in. And in the spiritual spread, the most cherished spots are the Queen of Clubs and Queen of Spades, which is self-mastery, the Queen of Spades. That's the highest accomplishment. That 8 of Diamonds is considered the highest accomplishment in the world. And the 10 of Diamonds is considered the most blessed. In the spiritual realm, the highest accomplishment is self-mastery. The highest gift is intuition. Very interesting. But when you apply that into the real world, then you get to really see what's going on around you. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about this for quite a while, so I hope you don't mind. I have a lot of things to go over to kind of touch upon with this. So recently, as many of you know, we had a gas shortage, mostly on the East Coast. It didn't happen on the West Coast. So funny, because we just traveled like, I don't know, 100 miles west of where we live. And we were having a gas shortage, and there the gas was cheaper and it was available. Nobody was worrying about it. But during this gas shortage here where we live, my wife and I got to see people like they were in panic mode about the gas. I mean, they were lined up. The first few days, they were lined up. Please, Jai, please. Yeah, I just muted you, Jai. Sorry. Don't unmute yourself, please. So we saw people behaving very, very badly because they were in a panic. They were acting as though their life depended on getting gas. And maybe for some of them, maybe it was almost, maybe they needed to, gas was supremely important. But the one thing I could tell was like people were getting in fist fights. There were fist fights. There were people cutting in line with each other and just doing very rude behavior. And I could just tell that just with a little more pressure, like that wasn't even that much pressure, like having a gas shortage. That wasn't that big of a pressure. But people were already behaving very badly. And I could tell that if it had been just a little bit more intense than that people would pull out their guns and start shooting each other. Absolutely. They would just shoot you. If they thought that getting gas or anything would you would get in the way of that, and their survival depended on it, you are history. And if they have a gun, you're dead. Okay, it's so obvious. So it wouldn't take, it wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take much of um, some kind of a catastrophe for everybody on the planet. I mean, for everybody who's affected by it, to just go right to their animal nature and forget about morality, forget about being a nice neighbor, forget about all that stuff. Just go berserk. Okay. So, you know, we're living in a very fragile situation. When you look at it, it's very fragile because just that gas shortage alone, and I've seen it before when we had other shortages, like during the corona, people were ready to kill people over toilet paper. I mean, come on, you know, it's like whatever they think they have to have, whatever someone thinks they have to survive, if you get in the way of that, they're going to just plow you over if they can. That's what's going to happen. So during the coronavirus, when food started to get short, just a little bit short, really, people started buying guns like crazy. Everybody's buying guns. Now everybody's got guns. You know, everybody's got like an automatic weapon in their house or other guns. You know, they want to protect themselves. It's just, it's the way we are headed. Do you see that? It's like the direction we're headed. Um, I don't know if you've noticed the population of the earth. I remember when I was younger, I don't remember what age I was, but I remember hearing on the news that we had a population of 3 billion people. Okay, that was most likely in my childhood. I'm pretty sure it was. And I'm 67 years old. So it's probably around 60 years ago. Okay. The population now is almost 8 billion people. 8 billion people. Think about this for a minute. 8 billion people. It's almost tripled since I was a kid. It's almost tripled. What do you think is going to happen when we have more people than we can feed? You think there's going to be some magic thing that they're going to pull out? Because right now, if you look at what's happening, the food supply is getting tainted by everything. Where, you know, all of our pesticides and the bees are dying and all this other stuff. I mean, we're still getting by somehow, but it's not getting any better. The climate change, the global warming, all these things are happening and they're getting worse. And people are talking about it, but very few people are actually taking it seriously or acting like, you know, it's something they need to do something about. And here we are still doing our things with our internet and stuff. So I watched this show. I just happened upon this show one night, and it's a kooky show, I got to admit, but it was called Confessions of a Time Traveler, The Man from 3036. So it's only, I think it's only available on Tubi app, the Tubi app. But anyway, I watched this thing. It's about half an hour long. And it was something that happened supposedly last year. This guy in Florida got arrested for taking food out of the market. And when they took him to the police station, he told them he was from the future and he made a mistake because in the future, fruit was free. He was just taking some fruit. And he said, in the future, it's free and I just made a mistake and I apologize. So the word got out that there was this man from the future, and this one reporter, he decided to interview him and talk to him. And he convinced the guy to talk to him. And the guy, he recorded this on video. You can watch it. So a lot of people, I went on imdb.com and they just trash it. Everybody just trashes that video. But to me, it rang a bell. Okay, I'm not saying it's true or not, but I also am very familiar with the Vedic cosmology. Like things were written over 5,000 years ago that describe what's going on today to a T. Okay, this is called what we call the Kali Yuga. And I know there's some people that think the Kali Yuga is already over, but they're just ignoring what's real. But anyway, everything he said really matched up with what the Vedic cosmology talks about in the Kali Yuga. Like he said, first of all, he was bald, and he says nobody has hair when I live because there's too much man-made radiation. And everybody lives in a pod. They sleep at night in their own little pod, which protects them from the air and from all the radiation and everything. It's very interesting. And there was more to it. He said, you know, he talks about great wars that happened and how in his day and age, the entire planet is just ruled by corporations. There's three major corporations, and they each cover a certain portion of the earth. Everybody's given like enough food to eat, to live on, and so forth. But like it's a very unhappy life. I mean, very, very dark, dreary future. And he talks about a great war that's coming in like 2052, where there'll be like, you know, billions of people killed because it's going to be Russia, China, us, the Middle East, all going at it at the same time. Now you can see right now that, okay, I've been to China. I was there just before the coronavirus. Maybe I brought it back. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't get the coronavirus. I never had it. But China is, as much as we dislike China, you got to admire the way the government is committed to taking care of their people. Now they do take away all their rights, but they take care of them. So it's like being in a prison that's kind of well furnished. And it's not a prison where you can't go anywhere, but it's a prison where you can't really speak up about the government or say anything wrong. You don't have equal rights. The government owns all the media and all the newspapers and all the magazines and everything. It's all government. There's no individual freedom in that regard. But they take really good care of you, and you really have a good life there. Now, China, their whole philosophy is taking care of their people, and they're growing so fast, and they're starting to be like, they are like the #1 consumer right now in the world, and they've grown from, like, in the last 20 years, they've just grown exponentially. So if China, I know they're already thinking about this, they're thinking, hey, the world's running out of resources, running out of food, water, and minerals and things. We're going to need to take over some other countries. We're going to need to take over. We need to survive, and we need to take over. And you can just see that trajectory is already starting, because China is already trying to take over the South China Sea, and they're like pushing their weight around, and you know, it's just already getting edgy. Okay, so like to imagine that there would be another great war is not hard to imagine at all. And now we got people with nukes. Okay, now maybe we have protection to get the nukes, and maybe we don't. These supersonic rockets that they have, these ones that go Mach 7, 7 times the speed of sound. I don't know if we have any defense against that. I don't really know. I can't really say, you know. But I do know that there's some tremendous potential for mass devastation that we could cause, not that's even caused by an asteroid or you know, a volcano or something like that, but just the stuff that we're doing is coming to a point, because everybody's trying to hit that 8 of diamonds and 10 of diamonds. Everybody, all the countries, everybody wants to have all this money, and they want to be wealthy, and they want to be ahead, and they don't care about other stuff. So this is a trajectory. They also said that in the ancient Indian text, they said that the food supply would just get worse and worse and worse, and that the lifespan of people would go down all the way down to like the age of like 30. Like before it was over, before this Kali Yuga was over, the average lifespan would be less than 30 years of age. Okay. Now, I don't know exactly how long the Kali Yuga is going to last, but they hinted. The one book that I read that seemed to be the most believable about the timing of everything was that it was going to last another 80,000 years, okay? Because it's the shortest of all the ages. I mean, the longest one is like millions of years old. So the time traveler said that the food was like, he said most of the species on Earth had died. You go to a zoo to watch squirrels and dogs and cats, because all the larger mammals were gone, elephants, whales, you know, everything. You just get this feeling of like this completely devastated life situation. And I didn't know, I mean, he didn't go into great detail about the corporations and all the, only to say that one of them had Bill Gates' name on it in some form. It was somebody that sprung out of Bill Gates from the future, which is, you know, whatever, who knows. But we can see our food now. We can see it, how we're destroying our food, how we're we're like just doing things that are not paying attention to the whole picture, you know. And a lot of it's done through greed for that 8 of diamonds and that 10 of diamonds, which is based in fear of not having enough. I mean, look at people like Elon Musk and others. They want to go to Mars. Now, Mars is not a nice place to go. There's no protection from radiation there, no matter what they do. Even if they terraform it and get plants to grow there and stuff, there's no protection. There never will be protection from radiation because it has no magnetic field. You're going to be constantly bombarded by cosmic radiation, which means that you can't go outside. You can't go outside. You have to live underground. What kind of life is that? You know, but they're thinking the world is so populated. They're seeing this coming. Like the world is just overpopulated. We got to go somewhere else. Where's the best place? Well, Mars is probably the easiest, and probably the most friendly of the ones. You definitely can't go to Venus. Venus is like unbelievable bad. Venus is the worst. It's like 800 degrees. It's the hottest planet in our solar system, even though it's not as close to the sun as Mercury. So the lifespan, he said in 3036, he said the lifespan was 40 years. It had gone down. He said the world's population was 3 billion at that time. And he hinted a little bit about why he came back and the circumstances, but not a whole lot. And then, according to the interviewer and according to what he did, the guy was murdered by it sounds like murdered by the government within a few days of this guy meeting him, or maybe a few weeks. Excuse me. But he ran a DNA test and a blood test on him. He had no DNA from any known source, any known strand that we're used to, like, you know, Scandinavians or Africans or anything. He had none of that DNA in his DNA, and his blood was full of chemicals. And he told them that your blood's full of chemicals in the future. You're just full of chemicals. You know, you're not really healthy. So, you know, like I said, this may not be the real future or anything like that, but it does match up with what they said in the ancient text. And it seems logical to me that this is where things are heading. The other thing they said in the Kali Yuga, about the Kali Yuga, was that the way businesses would make money is by stealing. This is the only age where businesses and people make money by stealing. And look at what's going on. Look at the stealing. Look at what's happening. It's incredible. I mean, everybody's looking out for their, you know, are you going to get like some hacker is going to hack into your phone or your computer, get into your bank account, steal your money, or ransom you for money? I mean, it's just amazing. So we're seeing it all happen. And we're kind of taking it in stride because we can shift and we can be flexible, but we shouldn't really be like ignorant. He said, one interesting thing that the guy from the future said was, we call this age that you're in now the age of the idiot, because the things you're doing, you don't even know you're doing it. It's going to ruin your world. And he said that 5G was the beginning of the end. 5G was like, you know, 5G is, there's been a lot of debate around 5G, and I did a little research on it. And the thing about 5G is you have to have an antenna every couple hundred feet. It's not like our regular 4G or 3G where you got antennas that cover miles. The 5G antennas are really intense and they have to be short and close by. So if you have 5G and you're living around the city, you're exposed to this radiation. And he talks about this radiation, you know. So it's very interesting what we're seeing happen. There's more that he says, and you guys can go watch it if you want. It's an interesting watch, but he doesn't seem like a happy guy. Let's just say that. So this is the trajectory we're on, and like if there was some shift in consciousness, of course, that would change that. It would change it. But is there a shift in consciousness? I mean, is there anybody? The people that are going for power in the world today are the people that are so ego-driven, for the most part. Not all of them necessarily, but most of them are so ego-driven. I mean, look at Putin in Russia. He wants to be the premier forever of Russia. And I mean, he's working to do that. He's just going to kill. They're just going to kill anybody that gets in his way. And Belarus, the president Lukashenko, he's like his best friend. They're both into it for the long run. They want us to be dictators forever. All over the world, we're seeing this. We're seeing governments just take people and just do anything to them to be in power and have the money and stuff. So this stuff is all going to come to a head at some point. Things are going to happen. This life spread is going to play out. There's going to be 9s and 7s. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be all kinds of things that happen. Okay. So that's my little speech about the future. I hope it wasn't too depressing. I mean, I don't get depressed about this, but I do see it going on. And you know, I can't say that I'm doing something about it, like I'm trying to protest. I really don't think there's any point in that. I don't think there's any point in being an activist and trying to change things. I just don't see that that's going to make a difference. Why would it change things to fight against to become a fighter against something? That's just an ego thing. The whole ego thing wants to fight and make an enemy of somebody else or something else. I don't want to do that. So each of us has this opportunity in this time. They do say about the Kali Yuga that it's the best time. It is the time when a person can make the very fastest spiritual progress. That's the benefit of the Kali Yuga. It's a time when people can become awakened much faster than in the other ages. And the other good news is that after this age of darkness, it's the best age happens. There will be a huge war, but this will be a different kind of war. They already know the name of the person. They've already predicted his name and what he'll look like when he comes back. It's a long story. We don't have time to get into all of that. The Krishna thing and the Vishnu, how he returns every age to clean up the demons off the world and so forth and so on. Okay, so that's my little speech. We're going to now, I have it so you have to raise your hand and I can call on you. So let's open it up. You guys have something you want to share? Oh, I see some hands going. Cool, it's working. Oh, and Zoom is so nice. They put the raise hand to the top so I can just pick somebody. So let me, hold on, go back to my spreads here. I think, let's see. Okay, Elaine, you can unmute. Let's see. I think if we.
Okay.
There we go. Hi.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. Thank you. So it's I'm 5 of clubs with 10 of diamonds.
No, you're not.
10 of spades.
Okay, yeah. You're not a 10 of diamonds. I knew that.
Yeah, 10 of
so
spades.
You're a Cancer, 5 of clubs.
Yeah, the Cancer. So 5 of clubs with 10 of spades. So then I have your books, right? Okay, this one here. And then it says, I've been reading like Life Path and the 13-year cycle for the rolling cards. So then I have from 52 to 64, 7 of diamonds in Saturn. So what does that mean?
Well, it could mean that you have a lot of financial problems, or it could mean that you make a lot of money. It could go either way. 7s can go either way.
Okay.
It depends. Awesome. It depends, you know. It's on, and you know, I mean, 5 of clubs, only the 10 of spades has it in Saturn, not the 5 of clubs. The 5 of clubs has a 7 of diamonds in Jupiter. So 5 of clubs people often come into a lot of money without having to work hard for it. You know,
okay.
Yeah.
I understand. And I have just one more thing.
By the way, if you put your video on, you're part of this recording and people are going to see you later. So if you don't want to be seeing everybody, turn your video off, because this is going to be on YouTube or something. So I want to let everybody know, don't turn your video on unless you don't mind being seen. Okay, go ahead. Again.
Okay, and just one more thing. What does it mean, this result cosmic reward card? So I have 2 of hearts. So the symbol is Jupiter and 2 of hearts. So what is a cosmic reward?
It's a blessing. Are you talking about your life spread cosmic
No,
report card?
no, no, I'm talking about the love cards.
Well, that
Yeah.
is your life spread. That is love cards.
Ah,
That is your life. That is your life spread.
okay,
All your cards are taken from your life spread. Okay,
okay,
which is this spread right here. Let me go
okay.
to this one right
Mm-hmm.
here. So see, you're at 5 of clubs. Your Pluto card's a 9 of spades, and your 2 of hearts is your result card. Okay. So this is like the love of a lifetime that can come, but after you have some lessons you have to learn. You got some stuff you got to get rid of. You got to when you have a 9 as a Pluto card, it means there's a big pile of stuff that you got to let go of to get to that good thing that you want, which is that great love of your life.
Okay. Uh-huh. And the cosmic lesson, King
Yeah,
of Hearts.
we're not going to get into the cosmic lesson cards. Sorry, I'm not going to go there.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
yeah,
It's
no
okay.
problem.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, I'm going to mute you now, Lee. That was pretty good with her iPad there. Okay, MJ.
Hello. Hi, Robert. How are you?
I'm good.
I just want to say I enjoy all your books. I have mostly all of them, Love Cards, Destiny Cards, a couple of your PDFs. And I just want to say I've been learning the system for about 6 months now.
Awesome.
And I absolutely love it to the point where weekly readings are just amazing, down to the people that I'm in contact with for the day. I look in their birth card or planet ruling card is there. So I just want to say thank you again for sharing your knowledge with the world.
Oh, you're welcome.
And now my question is, I have very few, I guess, years for marriage years based on my cards. My date of birth is 11/18/1984.
Hold on. I'm just going to put you in my 1984?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
Okay. And so this is one of the years that I read in, I think, the Card of Destiny book 36 that I can possibly get married. And then I noticed that I do have the Queen of Hearts starting my Venus period January 9th. And then I have the Four of Hearts for September 26th. I'm currently not in a relationship. So I just wanted to see like how, how does that play out when it comes to like a marriage or meeting someone?
Well, just because you don't have a lot of occurrences of the marriage card, don't let that concern you. I mean,
Okay.
First of all, you have to be clear about what you want, first of all, in terms of relationship. A lot of people don't have what they want because they don't really haven't figured out what they want yet. They keep ending up with somebody and they think it was kind of an accident that they got with this person. But it is something that they wanted usually, but there's no awareness there. You understand? So they think it's all just happening to them and they don't have any connection with creating it themselves. The moment you get really clear about what you want, it just shows up in your life. And you're a 2, you want relationship. You're a 2 of clubs. You want to have a relationship. Aren't you November 18th?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're a 2 of clubs.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the Four of Hearts ruling card is very interesting. That's one of your planetary ruling cards. And Four of Hearts, it's very interesting because I've seen this happen to other Four of Heart ruling card people. Sometimes they go through long periods without having a relationship. It's almost like they unconsciously say no to relationship. You understand? There's like some kind of an unseen force there. It's interesting because in the tarot deck, the Rider-Waite deck, there's a card, the Four of Cups, or the Four of Cups, which is the same as the Four of Hearts. And in that card, the man is sitting under a tree and he's got 3 cups laying next to him, and one is being offered to him by this hand out of the blue, and he's got his arms folded. He's saying no to the love that's being offered to him. You understand?
Yes.
So all you need to do, I am absolutely convinced that everybody can have the best relationship ever, but you have to do a little work by going inside and seeing what's going on there. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So next year, January, you're going to be having sex with somebody. I don't know who, okay? But whether that results in marriage or what, that's not a marriage card, Queen of Hearts. It is possible marriage card. It's possible, but there's a 2 of Hearts there too, which means lovers. You understand? So it may not be marriage. It's a possible marriage, but I would want to see it more. I would want to see also showing up in the 7-year cards, and there's another 2 of hearts for the long range. So, you don't know what these cards are, by the way, but you're definitely going to have a lot of relationship action after your next birthday.
Well, I'm in this cycle now. So I'm in my 36 cycle
right.
now.
Okay,
So,
you already
yeah,
had.
yes.
I'm sorry, you already had this Venus period.
Yes, yes.
So what
and
happened?
That didn't, nothing.
Then you must really be shut down to relationship.
I think because it's COVID, you know.
No, there's no
no,
COVID has nothing to do
no.
with it.
Oh,
People are
okay.
getting laid every day, COVID or not.
Oh, okay. So then I was looking because I have the 4 of hearts coming up in September.
In Neptune, yeah,
Yeah, and I know you mentioned about Neptune being an illusion and everything. I also have a lot of 5s, so I was wondering if this also would be the year I move.
You need to figure out why you don't want a relationship, because you don't want it, and you don't even know that you don't want it. That's your problem. I'm telling you, you don't want a relationship. There's a party that it's stronger. The stronger part of you does not want a relationship, and you're not in touch with it. You need to get in touch with that and have a little talk with yourself, because you're pushing it away. I have no doubt about it. I mean, I've seen this too many times. Usually it's because there was a really bad relationship in the past that happened. It was so bad that when it ended, the person thought, I'm never going to go through that again. You follow me?
Yes, I follow you. It's actually a guy that I was interested in. And I know you mentioned, because I use love cards for it, that if you have to also be in their cards and they have to also be in your cards.
No, you don't have to be, but it's stronger if you're in both each other's cards. Yes, but
yes, and we are in each other cards for this year, but it's kind of been slowly developing. But I noticed that both of his cards are showing, which he's the 6 of clubs and the 6 of spades, are showing with a 5, which shows that I may be moving. And I know he stays out of state.
Okay.
So,
well, you know, you can fantasize about these things, but you just completely ignore what I just told you.
No. I didn't ignore what you told
You
me. I
didn't
want a
acknowledge it.
relationship.
You didn't
No, I
acknowledge what
want
I
a
told you.
relationship. No, I
Well,
acknowledge what you said.
I don't think you do. I'm telling you, I don't think you do. That's just my opinion. Okay, based on what I'm hearing from you, I think you want one, but there's another part of you that doesn't, and you're not in touch with it. You don't know that you don't want it. This is my best guess.
And how would you recommend to get in touch with that part? Because I don't feel that way.
You don't feel that anywhere at all? Like, what happened the last time you got close to somebody? Like, if you like this 6 of clubs guy, have you told him?
Yes.
Have you told him? What did he say?
He just stays in another state. So
I don't care. What did he say?
Nothing really.
He said, I don't care. I don't want to be with you, or what?
No, he said, we'll talk about it, we'll be together, but it hasn't really developed into anything yet.
Well, when he says we'll be together, you have to say when.
Okay.
There's a really attractive waitress where I eat breakfast sometimes, and I talked to her. I says, how things going, and she goes, oh, by the way, I'm engaged. And then I said, oh, great, that's wonderful. When's the wedding? Oh no, we don't have a date yet. You know what engagement without a date means? It means no engagement. So if you don't follow up with a question like that, like you really mean it, like, oh, you want to get together? When are we going to get together? Because if you don't say that, that means you don't really want to. Do you understand? That's an example of that right there. Okay. Not going forward with it. Like, you could settle with this guy. You could decide. You could put it out there to him and find out if it's going to happen or not, and then be done with him or go forward with him. But you're not doing that. Do you see? You're sitting around like looking at your cards instead of doing what you got to do. That's what I'm saying. Okay? That's my advice to you.
Okay, got it.
I hope that's helpful.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
All right, MJ, you have a great night.
You too. Thanks.
Okay, let's see. We got Kristen. Are you there, Kristen? I know you're there.
Hi. Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, Robert, for being here tonight. I appreciate you taking my question. My question is, I would love to see my 7-year spread. Would be wonderful.
Tell me your birthday.
12/12/62, 1962.
Okay, gotcha. And there's your 7. The 7-year spread is where the long range cards come from. Okay.
Oh, okay.
The long range card is the card in that period in the 7 years. So like you have a 9 of diamonds long range, and it's your Mars card in your 7-year spread.
Okay.
But what the 7-year spread shows you here is that you have other long range. You have a King of Hearts also, and you have a Jack of Diamonds, and you have a Queen of Spades, also long range cards. So, and you have underlying cards. So this gives you access to a lot more information if you can handle it. So what's your question about your 7-year spread?
Well, it's interesting. I've been listening to your podcast, and I have a Queen of Clubs as my Pluto card. And when at age 45, that was the biggest transformational year of my entire life. And I noticed I have another one of the Queen of Clubs coming up when I turn 60 in 2 years in 2023 in that Pluto, in that same Pluto. And I'm just going to say on a footnote here that I've had a pretty hard life, raised 3 children as a single mother. My daughter had cancer in that same year, in 2008, when that Queen of Clubs came up. She's great now. Everything's great. I finally met a wonderful man. And it's funny when you say you just have to get clear on what you want in a relationship. I met a wonderful man a few years ago. We were married when I was 55. Everything's great. I mean, life has really, really
well, that's fantastic. I mean, you're a pretty marriageable birthday. 6 of Clubs love being married. 8 of Diamonds can tolerate it.
So yeah, I guess my question is, in the 7-year spread where I'm at now, my husband and I are talking about moving in a year or two. So what do you see in the cards for a move for me?
You got move cards right now. Let's see here. Let's look in the 7-year. I mean, okay, if somebody wants to do something like you want to move, okay, you just do it.
Okay.
You got 5s and everything right now. You could have left and traveled or went somewhere right now. Would be great. Okay. And then last until July 9th, but you're not going to be moving that quick. So then you want to look in the future for 5s. You got a 5 of Hearts long range in your Saturn year, which is 2022. You got another 5 of Hearts vertical in your other cards. So that's probably going to be the year when you move. I mean, if I was to guess, okay, it's probably going to be after your birthday in 2022 during that year.
That sounds right. Right.
Oh, good.
Yeah, well, thank you for answering my questions. I'm going to let somebody else have a turn. I don't want to take up all the time, but I'm going to get your new software. I emailed you, and you said that's coming out, so I'm sure that'll be
great.
enlightening.
Yeah, it's coming out on Wednesday. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Robert. Thank you for your shows. Appreciate
you're welcome.
It. Take care.
So yeah, I was going to mention that at the beginning to everybody in case you haven't heard. You're looking at this reader edition, which doesn't do any reports. And so I've been working diligently for the last 2 months, and it's been a lot of work, I swear. I'm so glad that it's actually coming to an end. But now the Book of Destiny reporter is ready. It's going to be going on sale on Wednesday. There'll be an email going out. Let's see here. I have it here. I'll show you what it looks like. It looks the same as this program on the surface. There's just a few. It doesn't have the advanced features that this program has. It doesn't have these advanced cards, which I use when I do readings, that really open up whole new avenues of understanding if you start using these, which is the Law of 5 cards and the planetary environment and displacement cards. These are amazing, some of the stuff that I'm finding in there. And it doesn't have the search feature that you can search for any card in any position for your whole life or for any given year. It doesn't have the study feature for studying the different card meanings and so forth. But it does have reports. It has 6 different kinds of reports, including the yearly report, the yearly relationship report, the Find Success report, the Find Money report, the weekly calendar pages, and it also includes the linear spreads report that's in this program. So that's going on sale. You'll get an email if you're on the mailing list. It's going to go out Wednesday morning. And it works on PCs and Mac computers. Yay, that's the real main reason I did it. Works on Macs, okay. All right, let's go and get on with next people here. Carly, are you there?
Hi, yes I am. Glad to be here. I have like a two-part question, and the
Sure.
first part has to do a little bit with astrology, like my natal
Sure.
chart.
Good, good.
So I'm May 13th, 1990, and I know I'm 6 of diamonds, and my planetary ruling card is the 10 of hearts. But when I looked at my actual natal chart, like, I don't know how this correlates, but my Venus position, it's in Aries, and it's squared four planets.
Venus in Aries.
Venus in Aries, which I don't know. I know it's determinate. I know it's bad. And then it's squared for.
It's considered to be in a bad sign in Aries, but you know the aspects are more important. And you said it has some squares to it. Does it square your moon?
Yeah, it squared my moon.
I knew it squared your moon because you're a 6 of diamonds. I knew that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I feel like a large part of that's the thorn in my flesh, like that whole area of my life. Whereas like everything else, like career, friendships, all that is good. But I just feel like a large part of like that 10 of hearts, that is not, even though it's seen as a good card, it's not really played out good. Like I'm learning.
No, it's a good card. The 10 of hearts part is good. It gives you a lot of gifts. Okay. And it has every card has a negative side, but really it's the 6 of diamonds that has the biggest challenge. It's an emotional challenge. It's a challenge to love yourself. It's like like an inner sense that there's just not enough love inside, you know? And
definitely.
And like, you know, I have it too as a queen of diamonds because we have we have a lot of threes and just 3 of hearts and 3 of diamonds. And it's like there's a sense of lack inside. And I've had to spend a lot of time just honestly, just holding myself while I'm alone and feeling all the fear and all of the whatever, the loneliness, all that stuff. You understand? I had to feel that. And it's gotten a lot better because I can be with myself now. I'm getting better at it too over time. I'm getting to where I don't mind it. I used to be a chore, you know, to have to do it. But now I feel like it's so it just fills me up to do it, and I like it. So you need to have. I mean, if you're going to ever make progress in the relationship area, you're going to have to learn some methods of giving yourself the love that you're needing, because you need a lot of it. It's a 6 of diamonds. The 6 of diamonds and the 2 of diamonds both have very, very difficult emotional situations. They both have the Ace of Hearts. You have it in Saturn, and 2 of diamonds has it as a Pluto card. So this is like the desire and the need for love. You understand? But
definitely.
Okay. So Lindsey Buckingham, he's a Libra, but he's the same cards as you. Okay. He's you know who he is, right? Fleetwood Mac, guitar player.
Oh yeah.
So super successful, amazing talent, you know, super popular, and he's very lonely. You can just tell he's very.
Well, that's me. I feel like.
Yeah.
Even with relationships, I don't know. I always feel like immensely lonely. And then my decadent card is actually the Ace of Hearts in Saturn. But I feel like I'm 31 now, so I think I don't know if it's a Saturn return, but this theme keeps popping up to me, so I'm actually working on it now, and I'm just so shocked at how difficult it is to love myself.
It's really difficult in the beginning to start that process of loving yourself. It's very hard. It's almost like alien. It's foreign, you know. But you will see results. I wouldn't give up. Like, you got to keep doing it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't give up.
You know, because you know, your relationships are going to keep coming back into your life, you know, over and over again to be looked at. So in my opinion, the highest spiritual path is the path of relationship. People learn, they grow faster that way, because all relationships just a mirror of us, you know. If you get into a relationship and you feel like your partner is not paying attention to you, well, it's because you don't pay attention to yourself. You know, it's the mirror thing. So
my other part of my question has to do with what you're saying too. For my year-long spread, my long range card is a 3 of hearts, and I just turned 31, so it just started. And
what's your birthday again?
May 13th, 1990.
1990. Hold on, let me just get you up here. There we go. 3 of hearts long range. Yep. And an ace of hearts long range. Wow, that's so good. This is so good. This is so perfect for you.
Oh, it's very painful. I'm like, I just
yeah, but you
broke up with my boyfriend because
yeah. Well,
like,
just make sure you have some support. Like, you know, we happen to have a spiritual teacher here where I live, and she's awake. She has no ego. She's wonderful. And if my wife and I didn't have her, we never would have stayed together. Never would have happened. We never would have been able to get through the stuff that we had. You need some kind of support system. Okay, somebody that supports you loving yourself in the most intimate and most. But look at this. Ace of Hearts, the cards of self-love. It's your long range card.
Right.
And 3 of Hearts is like, you know, it's like the same. 3 of Hearts is like it can be either worrying about love or feeling like there's not enough, or it can mean that you end up dating multiple people, or both. But you know, this is gonna be a big heart year for you. So get ready. You know.
Okay. And with the result card being the 7 of clubs, does that mean that this will be a spiritual year for me? I don't really know much about it.
You're probably going to come into more spiritual knowledge as the year progresses. But what I'm looking at here is the 2 of Hearts Pluto and the 7 of Hearts result. So this is pretty much a promise that you're going to get to a place of less attachment and more pure love in your life. So,
okay.
So be willing to do
the work.
Be willing to do the work this year.
I am.
Every relationship you meet is an opportunity to see yourself.
Okay.
Especially the ones you're really attracted to. Those are the ones that teach us the most. They're the real ones. Like I tell clients, go for it. If you like somebody, go for it. Forget everything else. Just go for it. I mean, that's what I tell them.
Okay, good. I'm so glad I got to come and ask these questions. I've been wanting to ask you questions for a long time, so this is very exciting.
Nice to meet you, Carly. Have a great evening.
Nice to meet you too. Bye.
Okay, we have Savorian. That's a cool name. Are you there, Savorian?
I am here. I was gonna just, oh my God, flip my wig if you didn't call me. I was like,
do you actually have a wig to flip?
I do have several, in fact.
Okay, all right.
Queen of Clubs, by the way, so you can totally get this whole flamboyant personality. My birthday is February 26, 1974.
Okay, February 26, 1972. I know. I've met a lot of people of your 1974.
Yeah.
1974.
Yeah.
I met a lot of people of your birthday. I don't know why. Maybe because my wife is February 25th. You know.
It's a very special day. I'm a Pisces, so.
Especially crazy day.
I wish I knew you better. I'd tell you what I thought of that statement.
Well, that 5 of spades. The 5 of spades, just like, you know. It just makes you a little, you know, restless, restless.
Yeah, I'm very restless. I have a lot of anxiety. I used to smoke a lot of weed, and then I just got bored with it and quit doing that. So
yeah, weed's probably not good for you. You're already high.
I am. And, you know, I used to think, somehow I talked myself into thinking that it was calming me, but I don't think that it really was. But then I moved to California and learned that there were different strands. So there were certain kinds I can smoke and certain kinds I can't smoke. But then
there are some that are mellower and they tend to mellow you out, and some that just get you like you're tripping or something.
Yeah, I just gave up the whole thing because I'm already pretty crazy. So
gotcha.
I just didn't feel like trying to figure out what was good and what wasn't. I just got bored with it. So, but
did you have a question for me here?
I do. Couple, in fact. So one is, I'm kind of new to this. I learned of the cards maybe last year, and the person who introduced me to the cards, she kind of scared the shit out of me, for lack of a better way to say it.
Okay.
So I bought your books. I have several of your books. I bought some software from you, but I don't really know where to begin. It's kind of overwhelming. It's a lot. You know, I'm into astrology and stuff like that, but yeah, like
okay, first of all, I want to tell you that Queen of Clubs have a special connection to the system because in your life spread, you have the Ace of Spades and Jupiter. Ace of Spades is the card that symbolizes this entire system. And I've met so many Queen of Clubs that end up using the cards as part of their life's work. So it's entirely possible that you could end up doing the cards full-time or part-time, or somehow combining with something else that you like to help and serve people, because you're a service person. You're a queen of clubs. You're here to serve, and you serve by giving knowledge to people. That's how you serve, because you're a club. You understand?
Yes.
Your customers or whatever are your children, and you feed them knowledge. That's what you do.
Yes.
That's what all queen of clubs do. Okay, so you're on the right path with it. You know, and we're going to have a certification program that's starting very soon. I've been talking about them for months, but I think it's actually going to really start happening. We'll be announcing it in a week or two. So look for that if you want to go that route, if you want to be trained and certified. Or you can just go to my website and start taking the courses. The Art of Interpretation is the one I recommend the most for people who are really getting into it and want to get good at reading. It's all about
Art of interpretation. Okay.
Because really, it's not really, there's nothing hard about finding the cards. It's really what they mean that really matters, you know? It's what do the cards mean. And once you master that, then you got it.
I've never had a chance to really speak with you, and I don't want to monopolize a lot of time here, but this is just so incredible to me. But my other thing is, it's just like the last couple of years of my life have just been like a shit show. Like, I have been trying to get into my life purpose, and I do know that I'm here to serve, and I know I'm here to serve knowledge, but it's just like I've had like a tremendous block. Like, I don't know if it's an energetic block or what. And I got involved with a two of diamonds, and oh God, that's a whole other story. I'm gonna get me a reading from you so that we can really talk, because
yeah, well, you got one thing you might want to know. She got an ace of spades as one of your result cards this year. I was just telling you about that. So this might be the year when you really get into this work in a deeper way. So that's one thing I can tell you. And be looking out during your Jupiter period, which begins on August the 1st, because you have a Six of Clubs. And when Six of Clubs shows up, often we get like an inspiration about where we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to be doing. You understand? So if you really want the universe to tell you or to show you what direction you should be going, just be thinking those thoughts. It'll come to you. It'll come.
I want it all. I want it all. I want the money. I want the love of my life. I want it all.
Okay. Well, maybe you probably need to have, if you get a reading, I'll be able to look at your astrology and tell you what parts of yourself are fighting against that, you know, so you can get a handle on it. Because five is a number that's, well, they call it on the cross. It's like a cross, right? It's like an X when you connect the dots. And so fives often have a lot of squares in their chart, which means that they have a lot of different personalities that are competing for being the boss. You know, once you see those clearly, then you have an opportunity to have a meeting of all these different personalities, and you guys can come to a direction together. Let's have a little meet, guys. Let's have a little sit down and talk about this.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Good. I'll connect with you on the website.
Sure, Savoria. Nice to meet you, and have a nice night.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, Lisa Resnick. Are you there, Lisa?
I am. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it. Been following your card system for a really long time, and I've introduced all of my sisters to it as well.
Oh,
so
great.
very, very predictive. I've been so busy at work, though, haven't had a chance. I have the yearly spread, haven't had a chance to really follow it. I have this yearning to move careers, but at the same time, I'm hearing, hold off, maybe till after the end of the year. So what do you see career-wise? Career and maybe starting at my own business. So my birth date is 5/29/62.
Okay, hold on. And you're living in a well, I see. Yeah, I'm not surprised you're 3 of clubs.
Yep.
Okay, so you're thinking of changing careers, and you're wondering, is this a good time or not?
Yeah, what does it look like this year? And does it make sense to start a business instead of moving from employer to employer?
Well, I don't see any indications. Okay, when you look at the cards, one thing, like, you really don't know what's going on until you get into the Mars period, usually, like as far as the theme of the year and stuff like that. Okay, you do have a Queen of Diamonds long range, which is a businesswoman's card. So it may be something that you're thinking about a lot this year. I don't see a lot of other cards supporting you going into your own business.
Okay.
There's not, I mean, I'm not saying it, I mean, you could do anything. I have no doubt about that, but I just don't see cards supporting it. So you may not actually do that. But look, you got a 10 of hearts in Jupiter and a King of hearts in Jupiter. So you've got some really nice cards this year for success in whichever direction you want to go. You don't have cards, which, but I don't see here very much of, is moving.
Mm.
Now you have a 5 or a change. You have a 5 of clubs in Saturn with this, I'm sorry, 5 of spades with a 7 of spades. That's going to be a challenging period for
Okay.
you because it looks like you could get sick. Don't, if you can possibly avoid it, don't plan any moves or travel during that period.
Got it.
That's December 23rd to February 14th. There is a potential change in your work in your Mars period, which is September 10th, November 1st, because you have a 6 of clubs, but underlying that is a 5 of diamonds. So there's another 5. Okay, so there are some potentials for that. I just don't see you, like, I don't see the, I'm going to have my own business card here standing out to me. I could be wrong about that, but I just don't see it.
No, it's just a calling to write some books, and I wasn't sure.
Why aren't you writing books? You gotta write books.
Yeah, I need to. I have 3 topics, and I just need to get to it.
So you know, writing books is very difficult because it takes a long time, and it takes some sort of amount of self-discipline, which I'm sure you have. But one hint is, like, plan it out like over a 6-month period and make a goal for yourself. I'm going to write so many pages per day or per week. You know what I mean? Break it up.
Yeah, I like that.
And reward yourself every time you do it. Like, reward yourself somehow. Oh, I've written 10 pages. So I'm going to go out and have a nice meal, or, you know, or go drunk, get drunk, or whatever is fun for you. Okay. But
Yeah,
reward,
I love that.
that's what I did. I was single. I was writing my books, and I had to, like, I mean, I don't remember what my quota was, but it was only like 2 or 3 pages a day. If I got them done, I felt like I did my job.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I would go out and do something nice with my buddies, you know.
I think people don't realize how hard it is to write.
Well,
it's a lot harder than you imagine.
But you have to wait a long time to get to the reward, you know.
Absolutely.
It's a big delay of reward, so you got to do something to reward yourself on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything in my 7-year spread that would show anything about a book publication?
Not, I mean, it's not prominently showing here. I mean, like, you have a 10 of clubs long range in 3 years. That's a big publishing card. 2024, 2025.
Okay.
You know, so the potential's there. But the thing is, like, you need to get the book done first. The publishing part is not as hard as you think.
Yeah.
Once you have a book, there's all kinds of options on publishing. You can self-publish, and you can put it on Amazon for practically nothing, or there's ways of getting, if you ever get to that point, I talk to people for free about how to get their book published.
Oh, I love that. I'm still working on the wisdom to write the book, so I think I'll still keep working on that perspective. But I love the 2 or 3 pages a day. I think that's an amazing way to explore the process. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Great. Have a great night, Lisa.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, this is fun. I like this Zoom thing. Marissa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Cool.
Hi, Robert.
How's it
So,
going?
good. How are you?
Just fine. Thank you.
Great. So my question is, my best friend is a jack of clubs, Cancer, and
you're the one that emailed me.
I did. Yeah, I'm the one that emailed.
You're an 8 of spades, 3 of spades.
8 of spades. Yeah.
And 3 of spades. That's
and
your second card. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I looked at you too. Okay, I looked at after you emailed me your birthday, and like you have, like, you guys were together in a past life, so you feel this love that you have for each other.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? It's there. I don't think you're as compatible as you would like to be in this lifetime. Well, I think if you got together, you would find that there's good and also some really challenging stuff. That's my guess based on what I saw. Okay, because he's one of your Saturn cards. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so you have the Eight of Spades, and you also have the Three of Spades. Well, the Saturn card to the Three of Spades is the Jack of Clubs. Okay. So he's Jupiter to you also, which is really good. But the Saturn part, you gotta wonder. And here's the thing about Jack of Clubs men. I laugh about it because I'm a Jack of Clubs ruling card. So what most women don't know about Jack of Clubs, and you don't see it until you actually get like married to them, is that they have very, very fixed, strong rules about how a wife should behave. You understand? And like they're so strong about it. And
is that true for Jack of Clubs women as well?
No, I haven't seen it in women, but it could be. I haven't noticed it in women. But in women, the female Jack of Clubs, I noticed their fixed mind keeps them out of relationships, like for the most part, keeps them single indefinitely. Like the way they have it all set up, the rules and everything that relationships have to follow for them to be okay with it. They can be they're just like their own worst enemy. Anyway.
So the other part of it was that his brother is an Eight of Spades.
Right. Yeah, but he's not the same birthday as you, is he?
He's the same birthday.
Oh, he's the same birthday as you?
Same birthday, yeah, February 4th.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there was good and bad in that relationship too. I don't think it was all good. I think it was, I mean, we always look back on somebody that's left us as we just look at the good things, right? But we forget that, we didn't get along that well. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
so
maybe.
In your estimation, it's just a coincidence?
Everything, there's nothing that's a real coincidence in my opinion, but if he had let's just say he had some leftover stuff with his brother that he didn't get to complete like something, like didn't get to tell his brother how much he loved him or something like that. His attraction to you could be a desire to complete that. It could be, I don't know. I don't know his story. I don't know what the whole relationship was for him and his brother. You know what I mean? We don't know. Him being Saturn to his brother like he is to you, he might have actually been very hard on his brother and he feels regretful and would like to do that over again or something. I mean, this would all be unconscious, by the way.
Sure.
It wouldn't be something that he might not even be aware of. But you can just watch it play out and see, yourself. Find out.
All right.
That's all I have to say, Marissa. I hope that's helpful.
No, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, great talking to you. Have a nice night.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, let's see. Guru Meet, are you there? Hello, Guru Meet. Maybe she thinks I'm not going to call her. I'll come back to her. We got Linda Doodnot. Are you there, Linda? You got two people away from you. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. So I kind of like to know about this year, and I kind of also would like to know about 2017. And I took your class, and it was for the death, right? So that was the year my dad died, and I never got to talk about it in the class. But so I kind of wanted you maybe to look at it and see how I would look at it in my chart.
All right, Linda, give me your birthday again.
3/21/63.
And are you Pisces or Aries?
Aries.
Okay. All right. So 2017, your father passed away. When did he die?
54. So he was November 24th.
No, I'm asking you, when did he die during that year?
November 24th.
Oh, November 24th of 2017?
Yeah.
So that happened in your Saturn period.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
That's like.
Well, every year we have Saturn. I don't think that's going to be enough.
Well, Ligna, you're not dumb. You're very smart, and you know you and I've talked a little bit. You've looked at your cards. What did you find? What you might not have found was you had a 9 of clubs underlying the 5 of clubs. That's a 9. You probably didn't find that. Okay. But you know.
Okay, so that's letting go of negative ideas. It's not the death card.
No, it can mean a real disappointment, mental disappointment.
Well, I wasn't as disappointed as you think. It was.
Maybe it was a time for celebration. I don't know. Like when my dad died, it was nothing. When my mom dies, it's going to be a big deal, I can tell. But my dad dying, I didn't really care. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have good cards in that Saturn period. They're almost all good except for that 5. You got an 8 of clubs, 4 diamonds, 8 of hearts. You had very good cards in that period.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't a big deal for you.
No, it wasn't.
So why did you ask?
I want to know how to interpret this in life, you know? It's like,
well, yeah. Well, then look, the cards are right there. I mean, you just answered your own question.
Oh.
Now, what do you want to know about this year? Because I'm going to be ending the show very soon here. So.
Well, this year, all right.
Question?
So I'm a little concerned about missing out on my. Anyway, you know, I just feel like I miss out on things, and I'm not prepared. Like you said about the being clear, I feel like I'm not ready. Like I need to be ready for this.
For what?
Love.
For what? For love?
Venus. I'm in Venus, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a King of Hearts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You could be having a relationship, but maybe you're not ready.
I know. What can I mean, I feel like I'm trying the best I can.
Well, has anybody showed up that was interested in you?
I'm trying to manifest that, but I feel what you said, that I have to, there's something in me.
As far as relationship goes, like, you don't have to do much to manifest it. You just have to be available and open to it.
Okay.
You don't have to go out and make something happen. You just have to be watching who's looking at you, you know? And if they are, and if you think they're interesting, right back at them and let them know you're interested. It's as simple as that. It's not a big problem that has to be solved. You understand? So like, just be, if you really want to have a person come into your life, just be open and available to that, and it'll show up. But there may be parts of you, like you're both of those cards I talked about earlier, that have the most emotional challenges. You're a 2 of diamonds and a 6 of diamonds. Okay.
Right.
Maybe there's a part of you that's afraid, like, I'm not sure if I want to have a person in my life. You know, I don't know. You have to answer those questions first.
Oh, it's a matter of like, I'm good enough.
Right. Well, there it is. Am I good
right.
enough? Like, are they going to find out that I'm not really worth it? You know, like that. Are they going to find that out and then leave me, and I'm going to be really hurt by that? So these are the things that 2 of diamonds and 6 of diamonds and Queen of diamonds and other cards need to deal with. They need to like deal with those things. Every relationship you run into or are attracted to that's going to come up for you. That's what comes up for you. That's your thing. See? So
yeah, I was like blaming my unorganized self. You know,
yeah, this is an emotional thing. See, the thing about 2 of diamonds is you guys are so smart. Your mental ability is very high. So you tend to want to use your mind to figure out your emotions instead of just feeling them. That's the problem with 2 of diamonds. They don't want to feel. They just want to figure it out. And you can't figure it out. You have to let yourself just feel all this. fears that you have around love and relationship. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to have to let you go. Nice talking to you, Linda.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see if Guru Meet has come back. Oh, whoa. Are you there, Guru Meet?
Yeah, thank you,
Sorry,
Robert. God bless you.
I didn't realize you were unmuted, and I muted you.
I finally got it. It was being a little stubborn. Thank you for the very interesting program and the fun story about the travel guy. And my question is going back to your topic, and I was wondering if your book that you mentioned about reading on Vedic astrology and the yugas, if it aligns or if you have compared it to the theories of Sri Yukteswar, Holy Science, and his story about the yugas, in which it's my understanding that he theorized within this Kali Yuga, which definitely goes on for multi thousands of years, there are cycles within the yugas.
Sub-yugas, like, and I think we're in the better one. I think
exactly. That was my question.
Yeah, but it's still Kali Yuga. It's still Kali Yuga, but
still
it is
the Kali Yuga.
So
yes,
what that means is this is as good as it's going to get in the Kali Yuga, and it's going to get way, way worse in the Kali Yuga as we get through it. I do agree with that. I think we're in the like a really good dasha, sub dasha of the Kali Yuga.
Well, yeah, I mean, from my understanding of reading it, and it's got to be somewhat limited because I only understand bits of it, but it's like another 5,000 years that we're going to be in the best of it, and that that's pretty good, and
well,
that we can do a lot.
Then it must be. If this is pretty good. You know
no, I mean that it will get pretty good. That we can make it pretty good with more of the group to universal consciousness.
But we've been in this since it started, haven't we? We've been in this sub-yuga since it began.
My understanding from what he wrote that it's been about 200 years since we started going into the better part, and that it got
okay. So
and then around the 60s is when it turned, when the Aquarian age started. Then it had more potential.
Oh, okay.
To get better.
I don't doubt that that's true. I've heard of this, and I haven't read it myself, but it makes sense to me that that's true. But you can see what's going on right now, like it's everything everything they predicted in the ancient texts is happening, and
I agree.
Nothing's going up, nothing's getting better. You understand? As far only thing that's getting better is technology, but everything else, morality, the conditions of our planet, the food, all that, morality, it's all going downhill. It's still going downhill.
Interesting. Well, you have the ability to see that perspective, and my mental perspective is so eternally optimistic beyond my negative mind doesn't function.
You know, I love being optimistic too. I love that optimism. I have a side to me that's like eternally optimistic, but I
don't know that it's a choice. I mean, my negative mind doesn't function, and you need your negative mind to be able to see all that you see. So.
Yeah, maybe so. I got that 7 o'clock Saturn, you know. So yeah. Well, it's really great to talk to you. I don't know if everybody knows, but Guru Meet has been a student of mine for like 30 years, and she's an incredible card reader herself. You still live in New Mexico, I assume, or is it California? Or
I am, yeah.
Still in New Mexico. Are you still in the community?
Yeah, I've been on Zoom, and yes, kind of a community of one, but within the community, I guess you would say. But I'm still pretty much a loner.
Oh, yeah.
And living on Zoom all this past year, so getting ready to go out and be social again.
Oh, nice. Jack of Hearts, as I recall.
Well, I think you're thinking of maybe my 6 of hearts, but 4 of clubs, the birth
Oh,
card,
that's right.
Jack.
4 of clubs. Now I remember.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. By the way, my son is, I have a son who's
He's a
4 clubs.
4 of clubs.
Oh,
I saw that.
I adore
He's
him.
adorable. Yep, I already fell in love with him. Thank you very much.
I don't blame you.
My people.
He's just amazing.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah,
that.
and great to see you. Great to have you on the show here, and I appreciate you. And I hope I see you sometime. You know, who knows? We'll see.
We will.
Well, we're gonna head out west, I think, this fall, because my brother lives in Las Vegas and my mother lives in Oklahoma City. Maybe we can arrange. Maybe we can arrange to see you on the way
I
out
will
there.
love to take you guys out. Thank you for mentioning
awesome.
that.
I'll let you know if that's the case.
Some good green chili for you out here.
Oh, I love. Oh God, I love Santa Fe green chili. Oh my God.
Yep.
Or Christmas. Remember they ask you, what do you want, red or green or Christmas?
Yep, that's when you get a hamburger. So.
Yeah. Anyway, you got me by the food thing. Anyway, nice to talk to you, Gurmeet. Have a great evening. Thanks for sharing.
You too. Thanks for the show and everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna end it. I'm sorry, Autumn. I'll have to get to you next time. It's getting late. We're gone way over time here, but it's great seeing you guys. I can see a lot of faces. George is here. Hey, George, I see you there in the video. Or maybe that's just a picture of George and he's just not even looking. Anyway, have a great night, everybody, and thank you for participating in the show. We'll have another one really soon. Okay? Take care.